Hello and welcome back to Bites of History with Irene Walton. I'm your host, Irene Walton, and today we're talking about the history of the Costco food court.
Have you ever wondered how it made it to your table? Have you ever wondered how it made it to your shelf? If you love food, then this is the show for you. Bites of History with Irene.
I'm sure you guys can tell I'm still trying to figure out the bedroom light everything situation for the podcast. So there's a glare here. We're getting it sorted out. Thank you for your patience. And in the meantime, I couldn't go a week without letting you know about the history of the Costco food court, because what a history it is. I want to thank all of my sources. We're right up top. So we are going to say thank you to wikipedia.org, tasteofhome.com, moneywise.com, costco.com, cnn.com, the Babbletop YouTube channel, and mash.com. These were all super helpful resources, and I wouldn't have been able to do this episode without them. So thank you. And a huge shout out to my little producers. That is my lowest $2 Patreon tier. You guys have input on what episodes you want to hear. It's very fun, very cute. I share, this week, I shared a screenshot of what my notes app for the podcast looks like. And everyone was like, what does this mean? So it was very fun. It's super cute. Please come and join that. Again, only $2, patreon.com/Irene Walton. We had another Venmo donation from Samantha. So thank you so much for that. That's the money I use to buy my little coffee that I get at the coffee shop where I do my little research. So it was perfect. Thank you so much, Sam. And I think we're ready to get into the episode. I'm so excited about this one. It's one of these episodes where when I was researching it, I couldn't help but talk to everyone I knew about it. And I just did the accompanying video. Is accompanying a word? I just did the accompanying video where I tried every Costco food, and I sprinkle in some Costco facts that I learned researching this in there, and it was really fun too. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. And now I promise I'm gonna actually start with the podcast. And to those of you saying, wow, what a gigantic microphone she has. Listen, I made a lot of decisions and purchases before I knew I was going to be recording this on my bed. So the microphone has to stay big and weird for a little while. It's fine. Okay, without further ado, let's talk about the history of the Costco food court already. Come on, you guys, stop lollygagging. So the year is 1976. We are in sunny San Diego, California. Oh my God, so pretty. I love San Diego. And a converted airplane hangar is being switched into a new Price Club location. Price Club at this time is a business that is selling memberships to other businesses in which they sold wholesale items, bulk items at good prices so the businesses could get the most out of it. Membership situation. And in this San Diego one, somebody who was working there was like, hey, we should open this up to non-businesses. Still members. People still have to pay for a membership, but they don't need to be businesses. We could be making a lot more money if just your regular average person can come in and shop. From what I could tell in my research, this is where Costco came to be. Costco was Price Club's non-business, still members only, subsidiary kind of thing. Now, 7 years later in 1983, the first real Costco as we imagine it opens in Seattle, Washington. What was so amazing about Costco was this was the first business that was ever a multi-billion-dollar company, yes, billion with a B, in under 6 years. And it was blowing up. Now, only 10 years after our Costco in Seattle opens, it's doing so much better than its parent company, Price Club, that Price Club merges with Costco and they become, I don't know why I think this is so funny, but they become this thing called Price Costco. And then 4 years after that, in 1997, they changed the name from Price Costco, which I don't know why they would change it. It rolls off the tongue so easily, to Costco Wholesale Operations. And they take over every Price Club location. So whatever was a Price Club is now a Costco wholesale operation. To be fair, I do want to very clearly put my bias up front. I am absolutely fatal for Costco. I love Costco so much. They treat their employees really well. They're very, very cool. Every time I've never had a bad experience at a Costco. You can return something from like a year ago and they're like, oh my God, thanks so much. Have a good day. They're great. So that's kind of the history of how we got Costco. There honestly wasn't too much about it. Like it wasn't like our Starbucks episode where it was like these three guys and then this other guy came in and da-da-da-da-da. There wasn't that much information available to me. I'm sure a bunch of stuff happened when it was starting, but I was definitely more interested in the food court aspect of it, which evolves in 1985. So it's in the midst of all of this kind of Costco Price Club change. Now, if we remember our first Costco, which is in Seattle, Washington, in 1985, they were like, oh, we need to stand out from these other companies that are selling wholesale products and selling products also at like low prices, like the Walmarts, the Targets, things like that. And so they were like, we want to start selling food, fresh concessions. How are we going to do that? Their fresh food in 1985 comes by way of a Hebrew National hot dog cart. What a choice. Oh my gosh. Fantastic. Now, a few years later in the late 80s, we are going to see Costco do something that Costco always is going to do. They were like, cool, we want to take this on ourselves. I don't really like that there's a third party involved. We're just going to open our own food court, sell the hot dogs and a soda for $1.50. So we're in the late 80s and our hot dog soda combo is still $1.50. Keep that in mind. That is quite the through line of this episode. In 1989, they also introduced pizza to the food court at an incredibly low price as well. Even for 1989, it was low and it has not changed. They called this first food court Cafe 150, which I am so obsessed with. I wish there was merch. I would get a members only jacket if it said Cafe 150. That's so fucking cool to me. And I love that. Do you guys like that as much as I do? I think it's so cute. Now they are selling hundreds of millions of these hot dog combos a year. They sell more hot dogs than baseball games, baseball stadiums. They sell more hot dogs than baseball stadiums do every single year. It's insane how fast these hot dogs fly off the shelf. But that price, $1.50, is not changing. The co-founder of Costco, Jim Singal, has made it abundantly clear that Costco is known for this hot dog and the price of it, and nothing is going to change that. The CFO has actually been quoted as saying, let me get it. I'll actually read the quote this time. That he would kill whoever tried to change the price. And the CFO of Costco has been quoted as saying that the hot dog deal is sacrosanct, which means it is extremely valuable. You cannot change it. It is perfect the way that it is. And it's so cool to me that they put so much emphasis on not changing this. They want it to be consistent across the board. They want it to be always affordable. They want people to come in, know that it's going to be there, and know that it's going to be the same price. Now, they're selling more than 150 million hot dog combos every year. But they're also losing millions and millions of dollars on this every year as well. It's called a loss leader. They know that this hot dog is such like a fan favorite that people are going to come to Costco to get it and likely spend a lot of money because they're already at Costco for the hot dog. Or the hot dog is a quick little dollar thing outside that can maybe quell their hunger and keep them shopping. So it is very much worth it for Costco to have these hot dogs. It's so worth it for them to have these hot dogs that when the third-party hot dog manufacturers' prices started to go up, they were like, oh my God, so sorry, we've got to cut ties. We actually make our own hot dogs now. That's a thing we do. We make our own hot dogs. We have our own recipe. We're done. We're done with you. Goodbye. And so now they make their own hot dogs, and they do this with so many things, you guys. Now, just like with all of their other food court items, the hot dog does vary in different places, like different countries in the world. In America, we have 100% beef dogs, but in Taiwan and Japan, they have 100% pork hot dogs. And they do this with every menu item. Like Canada will have a soft pretzel and poutine, and we have a churro and like the cold brew thing. So it changes from place to place, like what's most popular, what does the best. I am so upset that the Costco's by me do not have a soft pretzel because I love a soft pretzel. If there's one thing I love, it's a soft pretzel and beer cheese, mama. Maybe I'll make that this week. Oh, in Britain, they offered shepherd's pies. And in Australia, Taiwan, Korea, and Japan, they have mango boba available at their Costco locations. So it's really cool. It's sort of like how when people go to a different place, they want to see what McDonald's has to offer on their menus, which 100%, yes, we are going to do the history of McDonald's soon. It's just so much that I really want to make sure that episode is fantastic. So there are different things all across the Costco universe, but the one consistent factor is they are all incredibly well priced. I will tell you that. Now, a common misconception is that you cannot go to the food court without being a Costco member. They are pretty lenient about this, especially if the Costco food court is located outside of the store itself, like on the outer, the outside. You know what I mean? As opposed to the inside. So you are supposed to be a Costco member to shop there, but if it's outside, they're usually like, okay, you want a hot dog? Perfect. So just in case you wanted a $1.50 hot dog, they might help you out. Now, I know that the rotisserie chickens inside of Costco are not a food court item technically, but they are a freshly prepared item. So I just wanted to share a little bit about that. And also I wanted to share because I love their rotisserie chicken so much. Fun fact, the first food I ate after I stopped being a vegetarian was Costco rotisserie chicken. And I wouldn't change that for the world. It was amazing. I can still remember it. I had a bite of the leg. It was in an apartment I shared with a boyfriend at the time. Not my best idea, but the Costco chicken most certainly was. Now, Costco is losing $40 million a year on their rotisserie chickens just so they can keep them $5 for us. And also, if you ever hear a bell inside of a Costco, like a ding, that is the rotisserie chicken bell, meaning they just put out a fresh batch. And if you couldn't tell by the group of older women that are standing there ready to go, that's how you can also know. Now, let's go back to the actual food court items. I just had to share about the rotisserie chickens because obviously, oh my God, yum. Now, the food court is very specific in their business model as well. It is just like their store. Instead of having 100,000 items for you to choose from, like a Target or a Walmart, they have about 4,000 items in store for you to choose from. And they do this because of the same reason that they do it in the food court. They only have 5 or 6 items for you to choose from because it reduces the indecisiveness of like, oh, what am I going to get? Trader Joe's also has a similar model to this. Trader Joe's has a significantly less amount of stock, what are they called? SKUs, like SKU numbers, to make you choose. Instead of having 30 different brands of marinara sauce, they have 4 different ones that you can pick from. And this increases Costco's sales a lot. Costco actually considers their food court one of their ancillary businesses, which is like their optometry lab and their photo studio, or not photo studio, but oh my God, could you imagine getting glamour shots in Costco with like a pallet of Clorox bleach wipes behind you? That would be iconic. Wow, I want to do that so bad. That'd be so cool. Now, having these ancillary businesses like the food court, like the, pharmacy, things like that, this really helps Costco's retention. They have a 90% renewal rate for their Costco memberships. Like 9 out of 10 people are going to say, yeah, of course I'm getting my Costco membership renewed this year. So amazing. Now, I know you might be wondering, oh my God, Irene, how have you not talked about the Costco pizza yet? That's because Costco pizza needed its own special, beautiful, delicious sanctuary in this podcast because of how special and delicious it is. Now, like we talked about before, the Costco pizza was introduced in 1989. That price has never changed as well, my friends. A full 18-inch pizza is $10 and a slice is $2. And the slices, if you've seen my video, the slices of pizza are fucking massive. It's crazy. And it's pretty good pizza too. And Costco is actually one of the world's largest pizza chains, like up there with like Pizza Hut and Domino's, because they have 400 locations. Granted, they don't deliver, but a pizza usually only takes about 10 to 15 minutes to make for a very particular reason. They are so automated. It's crazy town. There is a dough squishing machine. There's a sauce robot. I'm sure you guys have seen the clips. If not, I'll try to put one right here. I don't know if that's like copyright vibes or not, but it's cuckoo. It's so f***ing cool. The little dough squisher squishes the dough. like the name would entail. And then it shoots underneath the sauce robot, and the sauce robot squirts out a perfect circle of sauce, and it's all calculated perfectly. So every single pizza is exactly the same. And then 1.5 pounds of cheese gets put on. The cheese is a mix of mozzarella, Parmesan, and provolone. So we've got 1 pound of those 3 cheeses. If you're getting a pepperoni pizza, there are exactly 60 pepperoni on there. It is all so specific. Now, there was a bit of controversy, I'm going to be honest, when Costco took away their combo pizza, which is like, you know, peppers, onion, sausage, et cetera, et cetera. People were pissed, livid, I would say. And they started a petition to bring it back. They got like 8,000 signatures. They have not brought the Costco combo pizza back to my knowledge, but for everyone who wanted it to come back, I'm hoping for you. I'll put my name on that petition, I promise. So as it turns out, the history of the Costco food court tends to be pretty consistent with the history and the mission statement of Costco itself: to continually provide our members with quality goods and services at the lowest possible prices. Costco, get out of here. Stop being so sweet to me. I'm going to fall in love with you. Ugh. What is your favorite Costco menu item? I am dying to know. You guys, this was such a fun episode to research. So freaking fun to share these facts with people in my life that I know love Costco. I put up a little thing on Instagram and everybody was telling me like what their favorite Costco item is, what their favorite menu item is. So I would love for you guys to leave that in the comments below. And definitely let me know what kind of episode ideas you have. I would love to look into them, and maybe it will be yours that is chosen. But for next week, we are talking about the history of pizza in the United States. I will see you then. Thank you guys so much for taking a bite out of history with me this week. I can't wait for next week. Goodbye.